Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Lucid, and I'm joined once again by Sakane.
Hello, everybody.
And we've got a few turns for you here. We're probably about 8 turns ahead of this, I think, in the real game. So we're getting close to being
Yeah,
caught up.
yeah, almost there. Or I don't know. The game is actually proceeding at a reasonable pace, so that's always nice.
Yeah. So okay, we have an unexpected event. There's not much that's happening this turn. Okay, we're done
Hmm.
expansion. We kind of have gone for most of the turns. We have one last turn to go for. We get attacked by
That's
some
right.
dogs, and sadly, this is an important thing for us to remember later. Is if for whatever reason we don't have an undead leader and we have undead stranded somewhere, they're just going to dissolve, which is what these guys are going to
Right.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Very sad.
There are ways around this. Like if you have undead leadership bless, which actually we do, but if your
We do. The
commander is
fire thing.
sacred,
Yeah.
then
Hmm.
it would avoid that. But we got minus 20 income
Well.
permanently. Awesome. And this is important. This event,
Hmm.
some squires have been caught and interrogated. They seem to have been preparing for a large scale attack. And I forget the details of how this works, like if it's a percent chance every turn hereafter. But basically, we're going to get attacked by some knights.
Yeah. And actually, we I remember we edited this turn a couple times, but in the end, we decided to just move out some guys from the cap circle. So that plus the PD,
Yeah.
I think should be fine. Actually, this doesn't look like what we had officially in the turn, but maybe we
It's
can.
something close. We have like 18
Yeah.
PD and some guys with some imp summoning. So the idea is like the PD should take the lance charge. These guys charge into combat once they're blessed. Some imps land to kind of distract the knights, and then they all kill it.
Yep.
And I guess the important thing for this turn is we've got a big battle going to take place at this throne.
Right. And we have our Melkart or Chief Surgeon to lead him, so we can finally do line formations.
Right.
Hooray!
Yay. Formations.
Um, Now we are expecting. I mean, I we hope this will go well, but there's like 100 samurai that have like two-handed weapons, so that's like a pretty bad matchup for sacreds.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll be able to
so
repel them, so that will be like another layer of defense on top of having some
yeah,
protection. But they have very high attack score, so they're going to hit almost every single time for a lot of damage, and they have okay defense, so they were and pretty good morale. So the repel is not going to be super effective.
yeah, and it's just the fact that there's 100 of them, so it's going to be like five of them versus one surgeon.
Yeah,
So they are going to get chopped up, but we'll see.
right.
We are doing Power
We're
of the Reborn King, which is nice.
we're hoping for acceptable losses. Like
Hmm.
losing 5 would be fine. Losing 10 would be painful. Losing 30 would be not okay.
Well, yeah, if we win and we lost 30, then that's
Yeah,
pretty pyrrhic.
yeah. We've also got like I think you mentioned this Power of the Reborn King
Yeah, yeah,
with
I did. Yeah.
the brains in a jar to act as Sabbath slaves. So
Mm-hmm. Very convenient, those.
and we are attacking. The other thing is we're attacking these guys. So let's talk about what's been happening over here with
Yeah.
this is RCK's nation, Imperia.
Yeah.
So these guys struggled with expansion. They had to use a ton of gladiators. I think with this nation, you go very hard on the bless, but they didn't really go very hard.
Hmm.
And so they were expanding with lion warriors with pretty large retinues of their Retarius, and they would have to expend a lot of Retarius every single fight.
So I think what so they went also with larger lion warriors, which is weird because they're size 3, so making them larger makes them size 4. So you can no longer fit two to a square. But apparently RCK did a lot of testing and it was a really good build against like elite sacreds.
Yeah,
Whatever, and we haven't seen it yet. I mean, we know it now because we're in the future, but we haven't seen it yet in game. But apparently, he has a build that where the Lion Warriors do really well against elite sacreds, which they're good if you give them enough attack to so that their fatigue lands each time. I believe it, right?
yeah,
The problem is you like expansion is not fighting elite sacreds. Expansion is fighting garbage
right.
instead. So apparently that build didn't pan out so well, and also I think there's a bit of an anti-synergy because it from what we know now in the future, the build that apparently is good against elites obviously works on the Line Warriors. I don't know that it's such a good bless to have on the Micklin Recruit Anywhere Sacreds. You know, like there are builds that could potentially work well on both, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's some issues with their build. But
Yeah. And the
anyways, back
Retarius
to
is kind of like an oh shit button. But if, in my opinion, if you have both of these units, like, I mean, especially just having Jaguars, you really, 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 really do not want to hit the oh shit button. Like, you really want to have a strong bless and be cranking out sacreds. Like, if you're hitting the oh shit button a lot, you're kind of losing the game.
that's the other weird thing. If their whole build was like, let's come up with an underappreciated unit and bless that's going to deal well with elite sacreds, then why also get Retaria?
Yeah.
Because they're also a thing that kill elite sacreds.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, get another, you know, or like this. I don't know. There's like a weird.
I mean, to be fair, we did not, looking at this lineup, they were not like, we should probably attack them for our first war. Because we don't want to march Garms into Retarius. But they failed expansion, so.
Yeah, I don't want. I mean, honestly, like it's a kind of thing where like we don't know yet what the build was, but we knew that they thought they had a good build against elite sacreds, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of didn't want to run into their line warriors either. To be honest,
I wasn't really worried about the Lion Warriors, because, like, oh, they have a fatigue club. Yeah, we killed them in one hit.
that's the thing, though. Even with the larger, actually, larger is even better because there's fewer of them.
Yeah.
Also, we just have more Garms because they have fewer resources cost.
Right. And we probably have higher Dom strength, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, well,
Yeah.
so
the diplomacy, what's going on there?
Yeah, exactly, because they got attacked by the Dongers,
Which are invading from this way. I think the Donger cap is right here. Right here.
Yeah,
This is it.
looks about right.
It's 4 below. So, and these guys' cap is over here. So the Dongers have attacked them, and they've attacked them almost exclusively with mercenaries.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
By the way, the Dongers are Anakites and
right.
Griffin Riders.
Yeah, the Seshai Anakites, which are the berserking ones, and then Melquarts, and then the Griffin Riders. And then Bakemono Sorcerers.
Bakemono Onos, yeah. And we know they're blessed by now in game? Is that future knowledge?
No, I think we know it. It's Fate Weaving, Regen, Heat Aura,
Blood Surge.
Blood Surge. It's...
Certainly not Blood Bond. Like, it's Regen... Blood Surge.
Yeah, Blood Bond's a little hit and miss this game. I think it probably would... I don't know. There's really good things about it, and there's really bad things about it, too.
Yeah. Anyways, but he's not... Well, he's attacking a little bit with the Sacreds, but a lot of mercs. And
at the same time, these guys, who are their southern neighbor, are attacking them from the south.
Yeah.
So everybody has kind of seen weakness. They saw kind of a weak expansion, and we were starting to think the same thing too, right? So it's kind of like great minds think alike, or hungry vultures think alike.
Right. Well, hungry vultures can have great minds, I guess.
Yeah.
Not mutually exclusive.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna come down here and join them, and we're also, I think, at this point thinking about, because these guys taking this, because they've been talking to us. So let's get into some of they had been talking to us and saying they were going to go on Imperia. And we were saying, okay, well, we're going to join you. It might be a turn or two till we're ready. And taking this really cut us off. So it's like, okay, now we just get to do this for our war. So that gets us thinking about attacking them. And I don't know if I told you, Sakane, but I've been doing, I think, most of the Diplo.
Yeah, you've been doing most of the Diplo, yeah.
Marilyn first came to me and was like, hey, dude, these guys are wanting me to attack you. I'm just giving you a heads up. And they said no. And these guys had told me that these guys wanted them to attack me. And then these guys said they had been approached to join a coalition, but they didn't say by who. And I said, was it the Dongers? And they said yes.
Right.
So these guys have cut us off.
And they're trying to get people to fight.
They're trying to get people to fight us, and they're expanding in the direction so that they could potentially join in a coalition. So we're probably going to murder them very soon.
Yeah. Well, although to be fair, from what I know of this player, this team, actually, both the players, is that they kind of do that to to everybody, to all their neighbors, right? They just they ask their neighbors to hey, you want to go attack them? Like they have no real reason to attack us, right? But their their standard go-to Diplo move is to just ask people to attack other people,
Yeah.
and they do it indiscriminately to everybody, right? So we're not feeling targeted. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
That's the problem with that move though is that if you do that and you also go kill your neighbor and have two caps, like you're people don't want a coalition with somebody who's stronger than everybody to go kill another weak player, right? Or I mean, not that we're weak, but
Yeah, I think
coalition
some of it
depends
makes
on.
sense though, because there was a lot of pregame Diplo where everybody was like Sai went evaluated all the nations, and he was like, Sax and Lucid scales the hardest by far,
For sure, for sure. Oh yeah,
and
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 yes,
they're
let's not fall.
greedy, like it's weak early, which spells out you should attack them early. Now, I don't actually think we're weak early. I think we could fight anybody
No,
1v1
think
with the defensive advantage. I don't think we could invade Mammon,
no, no, no.
but
I think our Garms, our Surgeons are an excellent early game unit.
yeah.
Maybe mid game, early mid game would be a little weak.
So,
Anyways,
yeah, the other
the
thing,
Dongers are kind of
while we're talking about nations and matchups and stuff, I know we're going down a rabbit trail. One thing we hadn't really talked about was that, so they get free spawn from these guys doing reanimation. They get free spawn from these guys doing beast bats, right? They get free spawn from
they have the Marverni.
the Marverni boars, right? And then they can also summon Sayer with blood slaves.
Because their base nation is not Hinam. We're Hinam.
Right.
They're the other one.
The they're Ashdod.
MA1. Yeah, Ashdod.
But this is the one I forgot that is the next one, which is they can also make Maenads. So they literally they were like, let's get as many free spawn things as we possibly can. And they're going, I think it's gonna work. Like they're gonna have we have free spawn too, but they're gonna have, I think, a lot more. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna maybe be a problem. We'll see.
Yeah, well, no, they're for sure going to be the kings of free spawn. I think we have a few we have more special tactics.
Yes,
right?
we're like special forces, really, with some blunt weapons too.
Yeah, we've got some good free spawn. Honestly, our free spawn, which is scary, right? Like a ton of nurses or Raktapadas, right, reanimating. That's a scary thing.
Yeah,
and we're hoping people think of us as a scary free spawn nation, and then we get them with the special forces, right? That they didn't see coming, right?
Yeah,
kind of the play.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the. You have anything you want to say on this turn? Because I think it's about time to go to the next.
Yeah, let's go to the next turn.
All right.
Maybe we can do a couple.
17. So we attack Imperia. And there's nothing much here.
A bunch of stuff because, well, why not? But also they might have.
We were kind of planning on bumping.
We could have gotten bumped
by
the Dongers, so yeah.
The Dongers actually talked to us, which is kind of funny because they were being friendly, even though I knew they were backstabbing the shit out of us.
Yeah.
But they were talking to us. They were like, okay, you guys can have that province. It's like, oh, gee, thanks.
They're like, oh, thanks, yeah. Well, here's a throne battle against the samurai.
Yeah.
Let's check the stats on the samurai again, just so we remember. Yeah, just 18 attack in these.
Yeah, because they've got really high base attack and defense, and then on top of that, the katana just has excellent stats on it. So.
Yeah. It is only length 1. I thought it was a longer.
Yeah.
I thought it was a length 2.
I think they have another kind, like the Wari or something.
That's a lot of dudes.
We got Power of the Reborn King going off now. And you can see we're definitely taking some attrition.
Yeah, and we chop one per turn. There's just so many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's literally 100 of them. Oh, good. We routed one squad. That's actually.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the fact that our guys don't run is one of the big advantages. Because if they would have routed, they probably would have. But
It doesn't look like it because of the way our lines were set. You know, I think we could have scripted it better because we were kind of like, oh, finally, line formation is going to save us. But what we really need with these giants is you can have one line, but you can't have like we had like two lines basically. And if you look at it, what happened is we basically got like see that in the middle there how they're overlapping.
yeah,
Where the fight was happening, we were like 2 or 3 giants deep, which is useless. So,
but we can't really have more surface area than they present to us.
No, but like we might as well just have one line and have the other guys on attack rear. Like they're literally doing nothing, right? So we might as well have them.
Yeah, you want. I mean, I don't see that. Like, this is not wasteful. We need 2 deep here because when they kill somebody, there's going to be a gap unless somebody steps up.
Yeah, but we have the.
But 3 deep is a little wasteful. So
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
small optimization. But what is their morale, by the way? The samurai guys. I guess now they're
yeah,
running.
running. But base is 11. So,
11. Okay, so it's not it's just like normal human morale.
but if we look at this guy, Archer. Okay, repelled. Hit for 7. Repelled. Yeah, it was. We would have gotten torn up if we didn't. If we weren't repelling the shit out of them. And once these guys, again, just looking at these guys, once they're berserk and blood surged, it's ridiculous a little bit.
So I think we end up losing quite a few.
Lost about 10.
We lost none. So last turn we said if 5 would be like acceptable, 10 would be bad. So it's bad.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was 100 samurai.
Yeah.
Like, that's not bad.
It was okay. I think we said 10 would be okay. 5 would be good, 10 would be okay, and then 30 would be like a very Pyrrhic
30
victory. So, but we got a very good throne. We've had shit. I mean, this is kind of good, the throne of bureaucracy, but it's not great. This one is positively bad.
Just a troll throne.
Yeah.
But this is fantastic.
Right.
First of all, more Earth Gems, great. Reinvig is like always nice, especially for the mages, right? Everything is sacred.
Right.
But gnomes are cool because we do not have nature access. Now we can get indie nature mages.
Right.
But these are actually good nature mages.
Right. And they can also do Strength of Gaia. So they'll be up to.
Exactly. Self buff.
Yeah.
You put a thistle mace. What's really nice about these is, a cheap thistle mace. It's their base nature 3.
Right.
Then they can Strength of Gaia and
And be nature
in the
4.
mid-late
Yeah.
game, like they can do mass regen, point like Serpent's Blessing, all the big nature spells that you want to have in every battle, sort of in the mid to late game. It's a pain if you gotta contort yourself to cast it. But if you have a mage that can just do it without, and the other thing is without having to bring like 6 gems to do,
Right.
mass regen,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so that's really nice, and no need to.
And Strength of Gaia is nice to just toss up turn 1 anyway, because it's going to put Barkskin and Regen on them, so they're not going to die to like a random arrow or something. But
yeah, just a fantastic mage. It'll let us site search nature. It lets us forge some important nature items. Just a really lucky.
And it's a wasteland, so if we want to, we can do some of our wasteland summoning stuff like Seir and Shed. So
yeah,
that's also a good thing. And it came with a Mist-Covered Highland. So
is that like our third one? I think.
maybe.
I think so.
Here's another one. Yeah.
There's one there.
So these come with an event chain, which I think we mentioned briefly earlier. But
Yeah, I think they do. Oh yeah.
so that means we're probably going to have at some point recruitable Air 2s.
Yeah, I think we have another one later on in the game. Anyways, we get a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna retake the Dog Province to the west.
Right. The Knights did not attack us this turn, which I thought it.
Right.
I think when it first happened, I thought it was like always the next turn.
Me too. I was operating under that assumption.
But apparently it's a chance or something like that, because it will happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So we're just gonna chill out here and reanimate.
And I think down south we're also just chilling, right? Because we're
Yeah.
I-
We
like
basically have
spoiler.
decided we're going to attack these guys, but we're trying to get the
We actually,
timing right.
yeah, and we're actually talking with Vinland, which is Maryland
Right.
and company to the east here, Brown team. Um, we have like
Let's
officially,
not
it
let's
might
not
be
call them Vinland.
disclosed.
Let's call them Goat Curry.
Go Curry, yes, go Curry. So we have officially, agreed with them that we are going to attack the Dongers. This might
Look
be
at their flag too. They have the best flag by far.
that's a very good.
It's such a good
That's a very
flag.
good.
I love that. Oh my god.
Well done. I mean, honestly, you did a great job with our flag. I gotta say, like ours is not like funny. It's just like a good-looking and appropriately themed flag, right?
Yeah.
Theirs is also.
Yeah, I prefer it. I mean, theirs is great. I mean, this is a pretty funny flag too, but it's not. This is actually a good flag. Like it's funny and
It's good
it's
looking.
very good looking. It doesn't look like it's trying to be weird. It's just trying to be a good flag for the nation. You know?
And if you guys don't know, like check Maryland's like uh, picture, like his logo or whatever of himself features that
Oh, really?
on top of like either his YouTube profile or his Discord.
Oh, nice.
Where it's like he's like wearing.
Oh, he's wearing that hat. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, yeah.
I got a famine and some unrest events. So
Mm-hmm. And I think nothing funky. I mean, we're just getting our infrastructure up. And I don't think there's anything.
yeah, let's do one more. I think for this episode,
Yeah.
18. We take out the black dogs. There's nothing really to see, and there's an event. Oh shit, Zach! We have to go patrol out. We need to go back and find out where that, because we were talking about it last time we recorded. We have a. I think, is it here? I think it's this one. We have to patrol these guys out. We need to do that this time.
Yes. It's like 10 turns into the future. We still haven't done it.
Which you can tell, there's no
we have an
Dominion
army.
here.
Yeah, we have an army in the area that can do it. I think.
Yeah, we gotta go deploy them. I think our current turn there's an army. We have an army here. Maybe we move them over.
Yeah. By the way, we haven't 10 turns later. We still haven't taken that wasteland. Province.
It's just
If that OCD is gonna bother you, sorry,
it's
you're gonna have to
5
do it.
income. It's 5.
Well, unless because there'll be unrest when we attack, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, guys. You're gonna have to deal with that gray flag for maybe another 2-3 episodes.
Yeah. So this is a kind of interesting turn though. Nothing happened, but
Yeah,
we're doing the attacks now. And I was like on the fence about should we attack them, should we not, da da da. And then Sack's like, no, we're gonna go murder them. You're like, we're doing it. I was like, because these guys, we were gonna attack maybe the same time as Vinland, and they were like, we're not ready. We have to wait one more turn. But we knew that Gripazon was also attacking them from the south.
Yeah.
And Sack's like, no, it's time to go, dude. Pull the trigger.
There you go. Because the problem is, we are actually going to be the first ones to attack, and sometimes, so like some players, if they're getting attacked, like they might respond by trying to fend us off the strongest, right? The hardest.
Right.
But the problem is, long term, we're diagonal neighbors, so they can't really push back against us. If they're going to be attacked from the north and south, it's inevitable that they can't really strike back against us.
Mm-hmm.
The other reason why we're relatively safe is because they actually lost not only the Mercs, but a small kind of sacred army, like the army that they
Right.
pushed west with. We don't have scouting reports, but it was posted in the game chat.
Imperia, they attacked, which I think, is it this
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually the Retarius and Lion Kings actually got to use their build, and their Lion Kings did beat the shit out of the Anakites.
Right.
And so, good for them.
And Anakites are less good against... I mean, the Lion Wars are going to be pretty good against the Anakites, because the Anakites, you don't mass print them the same way you mass print Garms. And so they should have the numbers advantage on the side of the Lion Warriors. But
for sure.
Yeah.
But even line warriors are hard to mass produce. But regardless, it worked. But what that means for us is that we're not really afraid of walking into like his doom stack or the remnants of his doom stack, right?
Yeah.
So with the armies we have there, we can totally get some land. And the other problem is that it's not really reasonable for us to expect to get his cap, given that both his northern and southern neighbors are attacking him.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's a
even if we
diagonal,
were
so yeah.
right, even if we could compete for it, I would set us up for like for sure being attacked next, right? So we want to get as much land as possible. We're aiming to get the land that's around this lake here. And if we don't go
Well,
now,
not as
it
much land
eventually
as
will not be
possible.
ours.
We're trying to get a good bit. But like we don't want to overplay our hand and piss people off who are our allies, I guess is another way to say it.
So yeah, so we got to go now because if we don't go now, like
This would
those
probably go to the
provinces to the east,
elves.
yeah, the elves would take that, and we have a lot of work to do to the southwest, kind of to get around there.
Yeah.
Like maybe Satis goes and takes those provinces before us.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Yeah, we got to get moving.
That's to go. Which, by the way, if you look at what we scripted, that army in the south had a decent amount, but the armies to the east they're pretty small.
Yeah.
But we have skeletons; it should be enough.
Yeah.
And we're reinforcing with stuff from the cap.
I think one thing too is like if you're worried about getting coalition, like we are, because we have not a greedy build, but a little. I mean, we're a very strong scaling nation.
Mm-hmm.
The solution to that is not to be small. If you're small and weak, then people are obviously just going to kill you. The solution is also not to be really big, because if you're big and you scale the best, then people are going to try to kill you. The solution is normally to be kind of scary, like militarily powerful, kind of, but like medium.
Yep. And have like a friend.
Yeah.
Right. And so in our case right now, we're pretty good buddies with Goat Curry to our east.
Yeah.
And seems like we're cooperating well enough with Gripazan, which is Brown to our northeast.
Yeah.
And that's important because that means, if I mean, who's going to coalition us, right? Like it reduces two of our neighbors that might have potentially, right? We kind of know who it's going to be if it's going to be
Yeah.
a coalition.
And if I mean, it's still just because we're friendly with them doesn't mean they won't coalition us, but it makes it less likely. If we're rude and we are taking way more stuff than we should and cutting them off, so they like Maryland still and Venisar are still gonna get like potentially a very large chunk of land from all this, because I think there were some provinces like I think this is currently Get Good, and I think this is Get Good, or the the Dongers. And so they're going to get all this, a bunch of stuff. But if we cut them off too much, like if we like tried to make a rush for this fort or tried to get this farmland and cut them off from the cap,
that's just asking them to fight us.
Yeah, we would. You can't fix that with nice words. So.
So that's the that's the play. By the way, where are we at in research?
Oh yeah, let's pull that up. We're almost at construction 4, and I think we've talked about in previous videos. Why were we going for construction 4?
Well, we need because first of all, because you have nothing better else to get, right? We didn't need point buffs or anything like that, but that's going to give us reanimation items. It's going to give us sanguine dousing rods.
Yeah.
Hammers. I mean, it's honestly, and also enough to kit our milk carts if we need to. But I mean, construction 4 is kind of a stepping stone to construction 6.
Yeah.
Like we're basically gonna do a lantern rush here.
Yeah.
Now we'll get a few things after construction 4, which actually we need to kind of decide on that now at this point in the game.
Yeah.
We're in kind of construction 6, but yeah, construction 4 is going to give us the reanimation item, which is a death item. It'll give us skull mentors also.
Yeah.
Another thing we can spend our death items on. And yeah, we don't normally. I mean, unless you have, like, you can do a construction 2 for Alquils if you have air, but like often you go for like point buffs or
Right.
the self buffs if you have thugs or conjuration 5 or something
Right.
early. But
But we have Raktapada.
none of none of our early game strength come from those low magic things because it's about our sacreds, and we have blood 1 mages, so we have
And they
blood
don't
1
point buff well. They're 1 per tile, and
well, right, but we are like, who's gonna?
I mean, we could do
yeah.
Legions of Steel and Strength the Giants and stuff on them too, which, is something we want. That's why we're going for, which, by the way, we get Legions of Steel at Construction 3, but
Yeah, we have it, but like even legions on Garms is actually pretty bad because they just don't have armor that gets buffed with that, right? Not a lot.
I think they have, no, they get the full buff.
Oh, they get 2.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought they didn't have a hat.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we're just going construction 4, and so we're almost there. So construction 4 actually.
Yeah, we'll be there in 2 turns. So
we've been recruiting some Buddhas, so we should have about 4 or 5 ready to go.
yeah, we got 1 coming up this turn up north. And I can't remember, we might have put our cap on. I don't think so. We still, God, I'm looking back at this sec. We don't have many forts yet. I mean, I don't even feel like we were slow in fort timing, but it's like turn 18 and we've got our cap. We've got this one. This one's underway, but we only have 2 forts right now at turn, or no, 3.
No, 3, and one's underway.
Yeah.
And then I think the other one on the gnomes is.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting this up. We're getting to work, but I'm just like, man.
I mean, it's giant forts, so it's more expensive.
Yeah.
And
we did have shit income in our land.
Because our land is garbage. Fortunately,
Yeah.
our misfortune scales paid us like 1,000 gold.
Right. It could have been worse.
To get our
It
early
could have
forts
been
out,
worse.
right? Good thing we went misfortune.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, we're doing really good in terms of, ironically, in terms of forts.
All right, guys. So I think that's going to be the end of the episode. Tune back in next time, and we will have the war with the Dongers.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
See you guys then.
See y'all.